here with Mike Holland today to talk about the Church Under the Bridge ministry that we have here at St. Matthew's. Mike, welcome.
Thank you, David.
Would you tell us first of all a little bit about what's your position? What do you do for this ministry?
Well, I guess I'm in charge of the ministry, I suppose, but we have a wonderful team of people that have been working on this ministry for many, many, many years. My wife, Rhonda, Jeannie and Richard Adams and Jackie Ledford have contributed to this ministry for many, many, many years.
Okay. That was my next way. How long have you been involved? I know it's been a while now.
Well, there's a story there, so I'll summarize this as best as I can. But I had a run-in with somebody I would call a bum or a hobo a long time ago, and I did not have a high regard for those people for a long time. And then I had the pleasure of meeting Jim and Connie Dukes, who were members of this church many years ago, who convinced me to go to a Bible study course at this church, which I did in the late 80s, where I learned that I was all wrong about those people, about the bums and hobos, and in fact that God loves them and I need to love them. And so I had felt a calling at that point to help those people, to go from disliking them and despising them to actually helping them. And so I started in the late 80s making pots of beans, pinto beans, and serving those downtown with Jim and Connie Dukes, who were heading up the ministry at that time. And so that's how I got involved, is through a kind of a rebirth through that cool, wonderful Bible study course that Jim and Connie did that turned my life, towards God. It was really cool, and so I kind of learned about myself and about my relationship with God through this ministry.
Tell us something about, give us some more of the details of the ministry. What is it that you actually do? Do you actually go under a bridge?
Well, yes, sir, we do. What we do is we formulate, procedurally, we formulate a menu, and then we put that menu out on the internet. People sign up to bring in food. We then prepare the food in our kitchen here on the morning of the serving, and then we'll have a group of volunteers that take that food, physically drive it down to generally around 9th and Austin, which is north of downtown, underneath the I-37 bridge, around Austin Street or 9th Street, right in that area. And we literally serve, it used to be, frankly, anywhere from 100 to 180 people would come down there, and we would serve them in a long production line of people. And a lot of the younger folks from our church would go down there, and it was a wonderful thing to see those people, our young people, serving some of these folks who I could tell, these homeless people, it made their day to see a young person serving them a plate of food with a smile on their face. It was a God thing. It's really cool, and it still is. Where
do some of these homeless people come from?
It's a really good question, David. And I'm sorry to say that I've recognized some down there. I'm not going to go into names, but some of those people have gone from being professionals, white collars with nice salaries, down to being homeless, disadvantaged, living out of their car with substance abuse. Some folks have just had a bad turn in life from the very beginning. They didn't have much of a chance from the very beginning. They've lived on the streets their entire life. And there's a wide range of people down there. But I learned a long time ago not to judge these people, but to help these people, because God loves them, and so therefore we need to do the same thing. And I can't think of a better way to serve God by helping those people down there. But those folks come from a wide variety of backgrounds. It's really shocking, actually.
I imagine that feeding also involves preparation and cooking. Is that done by the volunteers, and where is it done here at the church or homes, or how does that work?
Yes, sir. We do that cooking here. What we did many years ago, we found that we used to kind of switch the menu around, and we had some difficulties with some of the menus, so we found it was most efficient and easiest to prepare kielbasa sausages. And so what we would do is I'll generally cook the sausages in the kitchen, and then the volunteers will wrap those sausages in tortillas, and then we'll get 2 full sausages wrapped in tortillas with the other condiments, chips, and other fruits and things like that, cookies. And so it is a preparation. It's a great time for camaraderie and the Christian spirit to live right there in our kitchen with people preparing that food in a loving way, and it's an awesome experience.
Okay. So there are other ways to be involved besides actually going down and helping with cooking or supplying
Yes, sir.
Supplies, the food.
Yes, sir. You can of course you can purchase the food, bring it here. That's a good way to get involved. You can help prepare the food down here, which is a good way to get involved. And of course, you can physically serve it down there. So there's multiple ways to get involved. And And some folks, would prefer just to give money, which, and I shouldn't say just, that's fine. Giving money is fine because I personally promise that the money that you give will go towards this ministry. And we do have an account at this church, and so I'm not necessarily looking for money. I would prefer people to be here to experience the Christian feeling that you get here, and God's love is incredible through this ministry. But if you want to donate money, we'll always take it.
Is there anything else to the program besides food? Any personal supplies, things these people may need?
Yes. In the past, we have given out different items. Probably the most popular item would be socks. And because socks can be obviously worn on the feet, but it can also be worn on your hands. When it gets cold, people will wear socks, especially tube socks, on their hands, so that works very, very well. We've given out other items. We have given out, warm-ups, T-shirts, even underwear, feminine products. There's a wide variety of things that we have given out over in the past, and so we are continuing. We plan to continue to do that. We're primarily focusing mainly on socks, which is what we're going to be looking for, probably a donation coming up.
If somebody wanted to get involved with the program, would they get in contact with you, the church office, or how does that work?
I think they could get in contact with me, certainly, or Pastor Dave. I don't know if I want to volunteer Pastor Dave at this point, but the best way to reach me is through my email at mholland@hollandfirm.com. That's the best way, or Pastor Dave, or even, I guess, Diana at the church, and just leave a message. But we would like, please don't hesitate to ask questions, to call, to get involved. We're looking for anybody and everybody. This is a fun ministry that's open to everybody, and it is a really cool thing, and I think you'll really enjoy it if you come.
Yeah. I think that's probably a good way to end the conversation. Is there any last thing you would like to add?
Well, the only thing I would like to say is that for those of you who are hesitant at all or not sure, just give us a try one time. I really think you'll enjoy it. You'll be invigorated by it, and it could actually change your life. And certainly, it helped me get closer to God, and it might help you as well.